Hello dear students, this is lesson number 5 of quadratics and we are going to solve some miscellaneous questions. This is part 1 of the miscellaneous exercise. First question is, solve the simultaneous equation y is equal to 6 minus x and y is equal to x square. In our second lesson of quadratics, we learn to solve simultaneously a linear equation and a quadratic equation. So we will follow those steps. In the first step, we need to find the value of y from the linear equation and put it into the second equation. So y is equal to 6 minus x. This will give us 6 minus x is equal to x square plus x minus 6 is equal to 0. So we got a quadratic equation in x. There are 3 different ways to solve this quadratic equation, and over here we will use the middle term splitting method. X plus x will be written as 3x minus 2x minus 6. From the first two terms we will take out x, so that we will be left with x plus 3. From the next two terms we will take out minus 2 and we will be left with x plus 3. So taking out x plus 3, we are left with x minus 2. So what did we get? We got two different values of x. By putting x plus 3 is equal to 0, we get x is equal to minus 3, and by putting x minus 2 is equal to 0, we get x is equal to 2. So there are two values of x now. What was y? Y was 6 minus x. For x is equal to minus 3, y will be 6 plus 3, 9. And for x is equal to 2, y will be 6 minus 2, 4. So we have two values, 9, two solutions. Number one is, what was first value of x? We will put it over here, minus 3, and the corresponding value of y was 9. And secondly, x was 2 and y was 4. So this is the solution. These are 2 points, minus 3, 9 and 2, 4. This was our first question, solution of a linear equation and a quadratic equation. Look at this. The line y is equal to 2 minus x cuts the curve 5x square minus y square is equal to 20 at point A and B. We have to find the coordinates of A and B. Same question. We are given a linear equation y is equal to 2 minus x, and we are given a quadratic equation 5x square minus y square is equal to 20. From this equation, we will put the value of y over here to get 5x square minus 2 minus x whole square is equal to 20. 5x square minus, let's open this square, x square minus 4x plus 4, this is equal to 20. Ultimately, we will get 4x square plus 4x minus 24 is equal to 0, or x square plus x minus 6 is equal to 0. By factorization, we will get x plus 3 into x minus 2 is equal to 0. We got two values of x is equal to 2 and x is equal to minus 3. What was y in this case? Y was 2 minus x. So one by one we will put the values of x. Y will be 0 for 2 and y will be 2 minus minus 3. Y will be 5 for minus 3. So our 2 points A and B are, the first point A will be 2 and 0 and B will be minus 3 and 5. Remember, the points where the two graph intersect is their simultaneous solution. So these were two questions related to our lesson number 2, in which we needed to solve a linear and a quadratic equation. In lesson number 4, we learned how to solve quadratic inequalities. This is uh, an example of that. We have to solve this inequality. Given inequality is x plus 3 into x minus 3 into x plus 2 is less than 0. I will multiply this, or we will form the equation x minus 3 into x plus 2 is equal to 0 to get x is equal to 3 and x is equal to minus 2. So these are two roots where the graph intersects, and you can see that coefficient of this quadratic equation, x coefficient of x will be uh, is positive, so graph will be of first type. Graph will intersect the x-axis at minus 2 and 3, and we have to find the region in which this graph is negative, which is between these two roots, as we learned in lesson number 4. So our solution is minus 2 is less than x is less than 3. For all these values, this inequality will be satisfied. Next question. Again, we have to solve a linear inequality for greater than equal to 0. This is actually inequality. The quadratic expression is the same as was in this, but this sign is changed. For that, what we will have to do, we will solve it like the previous question. We will put this equal to 0 to get the value of x minus 2 and 3. This time the coefficient of x square is again positive, minus 2 and 3 are its root. But what is the difference over here? The inequality is reversed. It is greater than equal to 0, and in the previous example it was less than 0. So uh, before minus 2, from minus infinity to minus 2, the graph is above x-axis, and after 3 is also graph above x-axis. So our solution set will be x is less than minus 2 or x is greater than 3. For all these values, this inequality will be satisfied. These were a few examples from lesson number 4. Another example from lesson number 4, we are given a quadratic inequality. We will form the equation ultimately to solve and to get these two factors. So we have two values, minus 5 and minus 2. Coefficient of x square is positive. The roots are minus 5 and minus 2. Graph will be like this, and it will be negative between the two number. So our answer will be minus 5 is less than x is less than minus 2. This is the solution of given inequality. Another question regarding linear quadratic inequality. X square plus 6x minus 7 is greater than 0. I will put it equal to 0, and I will break the middle term, plus 7x minus x minus 7. So I will get x into x plus 7 minus 1 into x plus 7, x minus 1 into x plus 7. So the two values of x, or two roots of the quadratic polynomial, will be 1 and minus 7. Recall the graph, x square coefficient is positive, so the graph will be like this. Roots are minus 7 somewhere like here, or 1 will be like here. Graph will be open up. It will be negative between the roots and positive beyond roots. We have looked for the positive things, so your answer will be x is less than minus 7 or x is greater than 1. I hope it is very clear. Dear student, this was our lesson number 5 in which we learned some exam-like questions. It was part 1 of the miscellaneous exercise. In next exercise, we will further solve some exam-like questions. Please do subscribe this channel to get timely notified about the upcoming videos. Stay tuned. Allah Hafiz.